What's going on, guys? It's your boy Anthony back with another edition of the Fourth Man Podcast. Happy early Thanksgiving to everybody. This episode will be released after Thanksgiving, but recording before. So I just wanted to say happy holidays beforehand. Back here with another episode. We have a great interview on the back end. Before we do so, a couple of interesting news tidbits I wanted to fill everybody on during this long Big 3 off season. So before we get into it all, if you want to find the show on social media, at Fourth Man Pod is the best way to find it. My personal is at @A_Siggy. If you want to watch all the show clips on just more of a visual, you can find it on youtube.com/fourthmanpod. And for those of you tuning in on the Nothing But Net channel on Dash Radio every Saturday, we appreciate them as always. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in each and every Saturday on Dash Radio and the Nothing But Net channel. All right, let's get into it. Not too much going on in the world of the Big 3. A lot of players and individuals are doing a lot of big things, but not too much just in terms of the league's front. One thing, though, that did pique a little bit of interest was the fact that Kanye West might be one of the new investors of the league. That's right. It was reported by a news outlet that Kanye West would be or could be potentially an investor of the league. An interview on Revolt TV that Kanye West did, it was reported that he invested millions into the Big 3, and he actually said he had negotiations that usually he signs a contract like that's one page or less. We did see him at one of the games in Vegas early in the season. I believe it was in week 2, make a quick appearance. Not sure if it was just to get a quick look at what the league looked like, or if you had quick conversations with Cube, maybe earlier in the weekend, or maybe even at the game. I'm not sure. He was literally there for like maybe the last 10 points. That might even be a stretch. But nonetheless, it looks like Kanye West could be one of the investors for the Big 3. So not confirmed, just an assumption at the moment, just based on an interview he did. But certainly a guy that would bring waves to the league and a lot more attention to the league. Obviously, he did so by just making an appearance. Didn't even really show his face, and had made a lot of, it was a lot of attention to the Big 3 that came because of his one appearance, and a lot of people were excited. So would be cool if that happened. The other big news point that's happened for a Big 3 individual is actually who we have on as a guest today on our interview. Devin Sweetney was named Windy City Bulls assistant coach about a month ago, and big opportunity for him. We got a chance to speak with him about how the opportunity came about. His Big 3 run from tryout to championship, never said that before because he's the first guy to do it. And so really interesting conversation. So again, we appreciate everyone who's tuning in, whether it's from an audio standpoint or a visual perspective. And here's our interview with Trilogy Big 3 champion. All right, guys, today we are welcoming on Trilogy member, Big 3 champion, and Windy City Bulls assistant coach, Devin Sweetney. Been waiting a long time for this one. Appreciate you taking the time to join during your busy coaching schedule nowadays. How's everything going for you?
So it's going well. I'm thrilled to talk to you. It's been a long time coming. And everything is, is going well. It's just the, first couple of weeks of the season, and, things is, hitting full throttle, a lot of adjustments being made, and I'm loving it, and I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah, you have definitely made a little bit of a transition there. And it's crazy to think right now that we're in November of 2021 after a crazy 2020. It's almost the end of almost like a rebound year. From last year. And for you especially, you've had a lot of opportunities and a lot of success within those opportunities. How would you kind of describe 2021 looking back at it right now in November? I know we're not all the way in 2022 yet, but just taking an early look back.
I mean, I think anytime you have any type of success after, just the whole pandemic and just the state of the world, and 2020, there was no life, there was no sports, there was no people couldn't go to work, people couldn't do what they love, everything was on hold. I was playing in Greece at the time when the pandemic hit, and payments weren't made, and guys had to go home to their families and really just kind of had to figure it out. 2020 2021 hit, and I went to go play in Asia, in Iran and they had a bubble season, and I was able to compete in the DC Combine with the Big Three after on my third attempt, my third year trying, and I got a call from Jarrett Jack, and telling me that they had selected me to replace Quintel Woods to finish up the season, and it's been a blessing, ever since, man. Just with us, making history, being the only Big Three team to win 2 titles, and with me, I guess, being the first player in Big Three history to win the championship after competing in the combine. That's been a blessing in itself, and just shout out to Ice Cube and the whole Big Three movement, and Steven Jackson and my teammates for making my experience one for the ages, and hopefully there are more memories to come.
For sure, for sure. You guys gotta run it back. You guys get to be the only team to keep your team fully intact. Before we get into the Big Three stuff, I gotta ask, because you have a lot of new titles, coach being one of them.
Yeah.
But one I think that's a little bit new to you as well is being a Chicagoan. You're now in Chicago, the Windy City Bulls. How are you adjusting to life in the Midwest in a big city like Chicago?
Man, it's cold. It's cold. I'm from DC, so it's like we get some winters are worse than others, but and then sometimes it's not too bad, but man, it's a different ball game up here with the weather. So I'm adjusting to coaching to well. I was in the NBA ACP program, which is the assistant coaches program. James White, former, my teammate, former NBA player, he was in there too, and the purpose of the program is to train former NBA players, WN players, to make the transition to be, assistant coach. Yeah, Will Bynum was in my class as well. He's with the Big Three as well. So it was a 6-month virtual program, and they really just, explained to us about the preparation that goes into coaching, and along with the the scouting reports and the video edits, and just the whole transition. So I was well prepared for the opportunity that came actually on my birthday.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a blessing in itself.
I did the interview a couple days before, and I got the call a couple days afterwards, and I had to leave literally on my birthday.
That's
To
wild.
get there and start out. So it has been a wonderful year for me and my family. And I'm just thankful. You know what I mean? I'm just thankful for all the opportunities.
Yeah, let's take it back to the early part of the summer as the Big Three introduces the tryout aspect of it. You said that you had attempted to make the Big Three twice. Obviously, one of the toughest leagues to make because of the limited roster spots. And then this year they're like, hey, we're gonna trim one off as well, kind of run it back to how we had it in season 1. But first and foremost, how did you find out about the Big Three? I mean, is it something that you kept up with? And then when you found out about the tryout opportunity, what made you decide to go that route?
Well, this is back when Joe Conley was director of basketball operations for the league. He was a longtime trainer of mine, and he was a coach of our TBT team, City of Gods. And really half our team, and that was like James White and DeMar Johnson, my cousin Michael Sweetney, Xavier Silas, you know what I mean? So Dave Hawkins, you know what I mean? So half our team ended up, going to the Big Three. But I think at that time, I think the requirements was you had to be 30 years old and you had to be former NBA. So that first year I didn't make the cut because I was 29. And then that following year I got invited to the combine in Vegas, played extremely well to the point where, a lot of people were contacting me like, yo, I heard you did your thing, and, you should definitely be one of the guys drafted. And I thought I was going to get selected, and it just didn't roll. And, when COVID hit, obviously, they took the year off with, we're just regrouping and just recovering in terms of how they wanted to, move forward. And in 2020, I heard they had a DC Combine. I found out literally the night before. I didn't even know about it because at that point I was just frustrated. Like, man, I'm gonna give it one last, I'm gonna give it one last
For
go.
sure.
I just went out there and the tables turned and I was able to secure a ticket to get to Vegas and played well in Vegas. And it's so crazy because you never know when people are watching, and that's just with everything, man. I tell these young kids, carry yourself and always in a positive light and always, be respectful to people and always work hard because you never know, opportunities come in all shapes and sizes and forms. And you never know, it'll be that one day that, you act up, you can totally block your blessing. And I'm just thankful the ball rolled in my favor, and I joined the Trilogy, and I got the best teammates and the best coach in the world, man. It's a great time with those guys.
And certainly well deserved, and couldn't have been in a better spot. But I would say the timing was a little bit impeccable. I feel like the story is interesting because I know you told it on the Big Three's social media and whatnot. But I remember you kind of giving me a DM or sending me a DM saying that, hey, you're headed to the Big Three. You're replacing Quintel Woods.
Like early that morning.
It was like 7 in the morning, and I remember you said, "Yeah, I just got here like after midnight." I was like, "Oh, this man hasn't even slept."
Listen, I was I will never forget this. Like, and Jarrett Jack, he's a friend of mine. He's always been a mentor, a big brother to me. Just the DC roots, and me and his brother played DC Assault together and stuff like that. So he called me. It was so crazy because I was going to summer league, the scout summer league with the ACP program.
Mm-hmm.
So he literally called me at like 1:30 in the morning, like, yo, and I'm like,
wait, were you up at this time, or
yeah,
was
because
it like
I had a 6 a.m. flight to go to Vegas to try to scout and network for summer league. So he was like, yo, so I'm thinking he like butt dialed me or something. He was like, yo, what you got going on? I said, man, I'm packing I'm packing my bags to go to Vegas, with the program. He's like, nah, you coming to Chicago tomorrow morning. I'm like, what? Yeah, you coming? Yes, we're signing. You coming to the Big 3 in the morning. And then he just hung up.
That was it?
Like,
what?
Yeah, I was just like, okay. And then Thomas Scott called me the next morning, and they got my flight that evening, and I got to, and it's so crazy because it was Chicago.
Yeah, that's so full circle. I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying? It was Chicago, and I got in at midnight, and I was just like, wow, I'm here, just like just that quick. So.
What did they kind of tell you as you came in? I know you've known Jarrett for a while. You've known James White for a while. What did they kind of tell you that your role would be? Now that you're coming in for.
I mean, I didn't really know what my role was. They know I can play. They know my abilities and the reputation I have. Over back home in DC and just over my professional career. And he told me, he said, man, listen, be ready to hoop. I don't know how much you're gonna play, if you're going to play, or you might play all game. Who knows? But I know you can play D, and I know you're one of the the best one-on-one guys we have back home. So just be ready to hoop. So that was my approach. You never have to worry about professionalism or anything like that with me. So I mean, I was just like, okay, I'm ready. Whenever you guys, whenever y'all say word, I get it.
That's a great mindset to have coming in. And especially, I feel like the situation was so good for you because you get to play for Steven Jackson, who's a Big 3 vet, won an NBA championship, inches away from winning a championship in the Big 3 as a player, one of the OGs of the league. What was it like suiting up for him? And, how did you take anything away from him as, being a coach, now being a coach yourself?
Nah, I mean, once I became coach, everybody in the, we still have our group chat. We still talk,
sure.
A couple times a week. I know everybody's busy, but we still keep in contact and stuff like that. And I asked him, I pick his brain a lot. You know what I mean? We actually good. One of my good friends is, it's like family to him. So, like I said, it was just, it was just all love from, the first day. And I mean, to play for a guy like Steven Jackson, I mean, he's done so much off the court, just for, just for, our people and our culture, and just, everything what he's got going on with this podcast and everything he stands for and represents me. I mean, you gotta be happy to want to hit your wagon to, a guy like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So you get there, your team ends up doing well. I mean, you're essentially making history as the season's going on. You're not only one of the first guys ever to go from tryout to DC Combine, you're also the first one to make it to a playoff game, and then a championship game, and then win a championship. I mean, like, can you describe the ride in one word, or did it just hit you like a whirlwind?
It happened so fast. Like, you know what I mean? I probably did plenty of interviews, and everybody asked me, like, yo, what was it like? And it's like that feeling at that point, man, I can't even explain it. Like, sometimes I have to go back and look at all the videos we made in the locker room, spraying the champagne, and all the photos after, because it happened so quick. It was just like Jarrett hit that shot, and it was like the confetti came out, and it was just like that. It was like, oh my goodness! Like, me and Briscoe were looking at each other like, yo, we really just won. Like, this is. So, I mean, I think I just complimented those guys well, man, and I'm looking forward to winning another one this year.
Man, for sure. It's kind of cool too, because there's not a lot of people who can say that they've had a family member playing it. Your cousin Michael was one of the OGs of the league, playing for Three's Companies, one of the first members. Did he ever tell you kind of what the league would be like? I know it's changed a little bit just because of age, and maybe there's a few more calls now than maybe they were in the past there, but did he ever give you like any expectations of what to expect?
I mean, that's my big cuz. So it's like, he don't say much, but when he says it's impactful, he was like, yo, cuz, man, I'm proud of you, but hey, man, make sure you get a good warm up in, man. You said, quick. You be sitting on the side. He's like, you be sitting on the side, and then you get in the game, you be cold. So he's like, man, just make sure you stay loose out there, because it's CBS.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that everyone's watching you there. That's cool. I feel like that's history in itself. Just another, history point that you were able to come in and make and everything. You mentioned your teammates a few times, so I kind of want to play like a short little game to kind of get to know your relationship with your teammates a little bit better and your thoughts on them. It's kind of just like a most likely to, and I'll ask you different scenarios. So first one being, this is for the most, I guess, one that's kind of adventurous, outgoing, willing to be risky, most likely to swim with sharks.
James White.
Easily,
like,
man. Okay, I could definitely see that. He seems like a risk taker for sure. Okay. This is for the trivia guys out there. The most likely to carry the team in a game of Family Feud. If it was you versus, like, let's say, like three-headed monsters in a game of Family Feud, who's going to carry you guys to the victory in that?
Maybe it might, it might be a tie between Jarrett Jack and Steven Jackson. There's some real intelligent guys, and I even throw a mirror in there too. There's some real intelligent guys.
Let me ask you, I felt like Stack and Charles Oakley were two guys that butt heads a lot because they had strong opinions, and they were very knowledgeable about the game, right? Are Stack and Jack, did they ever have anything like that go on during the season where they just like butted heads about certain plays or certain schemes that they should be running or anything like that?
Oh, no. For the most part, I mean, everybody gets along. We were all on the same page. And I would say the guy in the locker room who probably comes up with the most schemes is probably James White. You definitely gonna look up and he's definitely gonna be ahead. Well, he's already coaching
for sure
the team. And the team in Houston, and he did a good job with those guys. I think a couple of those guys got drafted to the G League this year. So, Flight's definitely got a future in coaching for sure.
Okay. A couple of brainiacs on the team that you could choose between. All right, last one. The most likely to get a role in a movie and win an Academy Award. I feel like that's a very relevant question with Ice Cube being a director, an actor, etc.
Steven Jackson, man. He's got the charisma. He's got the, you know what I mean? He's got the look, man. I could definitely see him in, one of these Netflix, he's already in the Netflix special. So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could definitely see him in a movie or something soon, man.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Tell you sign me up. I play a couple roles or two. You know, I do
Hey,
it all too.
I like that. Let's make your own documentary after this crazy year for sure. Um, Actually, a great way to segue to my next point. You made history multiple times, like I mentioned on the journey. First tryout player to get to a combine, first tryout player to make a playoff game, win a championship, a lot of things. Like ultimately, what do you want other underdogs to be able to take away from your inspirational story, whether they're from your hometown or just watching from an outside perspective?
I think obviously basketball is a tool for all of us that has made us a lot of money and got us an education and taken us all around the world. But I think blessings come from people that genuinely do it the right way. I think basketball is half the battle, but I think being a good person, being a good person and treating people the right way, and always doing right by others, and being respectful and putting the hard work in. I think it'll always, the life will always come find you. You know what I mean? Opportunities will definitely shape in your path if you treat people, well, because it comes down to, obviously everybody at that combine could play. Obviously everybody at that combine can run, score, get to the basket, pass, dunk, but at the end of the day, what type of person is he? What type of dude is he? Is he a selfish guy? Is he, if he doesn't play, is he going to be pouting on the bench? Like, what type of person he is. And I think I've just, I've been fortunate enough to, come from a good family that, has taught me, how to carry myself, the right way. And I think, the universe, just rewarded me for that. And I'm thankful for it.
Definitely. Very motivational. I think something that a lot of people can take away, especially I feel like you have one of the true underdog stories that's very inspirational, and it's kind of only beginning here. Like this, it's only kind of the start of it. So that's super cool to see. That being said, to conclude kind of the big three aspect of it, one underrated moment of the season and one personal goal you're working on before the start of next season.
I would say one underrated moment this year. I would say when we swim with the dolphins in Bahamas.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, because I got to swim with Nancy Lieberman.
Man, that's sick. Not too many
that's
people can say that.
I got to be with Nancy, and we got to talk a lot. And she's a wonderful human being. She's a wonderful lady, man. She's an inspiration of all basketball, men and women. Anybody comes back to play professionally at 50, you gotta she's Michael Jordan. She's Michael Jordan of women's basketball. You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely a moment where I look back, I was like, "Damn, I really did that. I was really
swim with Hall of Famers, play against Hall of Famers. You do it all in Bahamas."
And I would say one goal is for us to get another championship. Period. Let's run it back.
I'm interested to see too if they add another roster spot next year, just to see if it's just going to be 5 people again. I kind of like the aspect of there's so much talent, I think is the thing.
Yeah.
I think there's so many talented people.
It's going to definitely be interesting, but Ice Cube is full of surprises. So I'm pretty sure he's all about him and Chris, they're all about the betterment of the league and the fans, and they interact with everybody. So I know they're working, I know whatever they decide to add, or I know it's only going to be beneficial to everybody. So I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. I just say that because you see how many people got drafted, and then you see how many people got the opportunity that weren't drafted that made such a big impact on their team.
Right.
I mean,
right.
That's a lot of talent that goes unnoticed.
It was kind of like the guys that got picked up, along some of the guys that got picked up along the way, made big splash, Justin Denman, one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's so crazy how the universe connect, because I was in Iran and I had left like right before the playoffs, and to my team, Justin Denman replaced me.
No way. That's
so when
wild.
we got to the combine, I seen him in Vegas. I was like, "Yo, you was playing for
Wait,
Wazam. I said, bro, you replaced me, bro. That's crazy.
that's wild. It's crazy. Yeah, that's what I feel like I've heard a few guys playing the league say is one of the coolest aspects. He's just like, you hang with everybody that you've made connections
Oh
with in
man,
the
it's
past,
all,
like small world.
and that's another thing I would say is it's like a underrated, or like a kind of like something I didn't know, like, because you got some big names. You got guys like Joe Johnson, Al Jefferson. These are guys that I grew up watching. You know what I mean, playing. You know what I mean, like. And everybody is so cool. Like Pargo was a assistant with Windy City 2 years ago. I mean, he's with the Pacers now, but he was at
Yeah,
our game two nights ago, and we chopped it up. Get what I'm saying? So
that's dope.
everybody, the big three family is just so cool. And me and Pargo
Hmm.
sat pool in Bahamas, and he was just giving me advice on just moving forward if I'm gonna pursue coaching, and what's the do's and what's the don'ts, and you know what I mean? So it's
Man,
just
that's
one big
cool.
family, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, Cube says it best, not about your name, it's about your game. I really feel like you get to see that in the big three, but not only from like a basketball perspective, but just like from a personal perspective. Like, it doesn't really matter where you've come from or who you are or the publicity you get. It's just like everybody's like super
Yeah,
humble and cool.
yeah, super humble, man. Joe Johnson, man, class guy. Like, top guy. Talk to you. You know what I mean? Doesn't walk around. He's back to back MVP. You got to talk to
Right.
anybody.
Yeah,
But
cool
he's
as ice.
so cool, man. Yeah.
For
So
sure, for sure, man. That's so dope. Okay, I gotta talk about your coaching career because it's crazy. I feel like everyone that played this year is just getting into coaching, and like,
yeah.
honestly, the right people for it. And now you're an assistant coach for the Windy City Bulls. You said you were in a program. When did you know that you wanted to get into coaching, or has that always been a dream aspiration of yours?
Well, I did say this because I was still currently playing, and
Hmm.
just sorting through just some overseas offers, and obviously because of COVID, just certain places, and just the money is just every country's in recovery mode. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I wasn't going to leave under my value, and I had been bugging John Wolf in the NBA office for since I was in the G League playing with the Go-Go 3 seasons ago, just about opportunity, just to enhance, to transition. I just turned 34 years old, so I finally was able to get into the program 6 months, and literally everybody from my class got hired. So
Oh
literally,
wow,
yeah, like I think, but one or two people, but I think my class of like 19 people, everyone pretty much got better jobs and are either in
wow,
NBA or G League affiliate. So I got mines. I was literally at my son's football game, and I'm just thinking, oh, I'm gonna just I'm gonna go back overseas in a couple months, and it was just a lot with the summer, with the big three. I didn't
yeah.
want to just go back, just go back over right then. So I was aiming maybe like December, January ish, and Stacy Lovelace called me, said, "Hey, Devin, I think I got a wonderful opportunity for you." It was the Chicago Bulls. They called,
Music
they
to your ears.
interviewed, and then I was just like, "Man, I'd be a fool not to take this opportunity." And it's been amazing. It's been amazing. It's been a
Man, that's
blessing.
cool. And you get to play in the big three during the summer, which is, so you get, it's
Yeah,
kind of an easier balance maybe than going overseas and coming back and getting adjusted
no,
just to
for
life
sure.
in general.
Yeah,
Also kind of dope that like, Jack is getting kind of his first real like big coaching opportunity as well. And, you know,
Phoenix.
you guys were playing together on the same team. Did you guys kind of run any ideas by each other just in terms of coaching, or has he given you any advice when it comes to being a coach?
I think well, yeah, we kind of see mine's happened so sudden. So
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
already accepted his job, I think, when we were in Bahamas.
Hmm.
And I was in the program, and the program was just finishing, but I still hadn't had anything concrete. So I just
Yeah.
thought maybe next year, you know what I mean, the contacts that I did make, and I did interview a couple times, but I just figured I would go back. But he congratulated me on it and said, that's major. Let him know if I need anything, if I need to talk or whatever. But our schedules has just been, it's season mode.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's probably in the office right now if he's not on the road, so.
Hmm. I was looking at y'all's schedule a little bit. Was going to see if you guys played Iowa see if you play against your teammate or, run into your teammate, Isaiah
Briscoe
Briscoe over there.
playing real well. He's playing real
Yeah,
well.
he's doing really well. It's pretty crazy to see like opposite ends of the spectrum there a little bit, but what have you been keeping up with Isaiah since you're more G League
Yeah,
focused at the moment,
yeah.
and how do you
Yeah, I've
feel
been
about his development over there with
oh,
the Wolves?
I'm happy for Briscoe. I don't think there's anybody that ever will question Briscoe's his talent and
No doubt.
and ability. Guys can't stay in front of him, and he locks up on defense, and I hope I hope one of these teams sign him, one of these NBA teams.
Crazy he's not in the NBA.
And give him, he needs to be back. That's where he belongs. And he's a very hard worker, and I wish the best for him. Anything I could do for him, it's always love. So
yeah,
I'm glad he's playing well.
So as an assistant coach now with Windy City, what has your day-to-day looked like? It's no longer training and preparing for a season. Well, it is, but not necessarily in that way right now.
No,
So
not
what's your
my
day-to-day look like?
development.
Exactly. What's your day-to-day look like?
Man, I've been here. It's been a month almost. I've been in the office pretty much every day, 7 a.m. work out. We have our coaches meeting. We go over edits. We go practice plan. My guys get here early, train them, work them out, get extra shots. Then we go straight into practice. After practice, work guys out, get extra shots. We come back in, break down some film, go over, have a practice plan together, plan the next day. And, my days, I've had some days that are like 15 hours, like 12,
Man.
13, 14, 15 hours. Just putting the work in, just learning, just growing, just developing, watching a lot of film, a lot of basketball, figuring out, what drills, just really just being a sponge, being a sponge to the other assistants and to the head coach, and just really try to help our guys, get to where they need to go. So.
For sure. How are you guys feeling about the season so far? It's still kind of earlier in the season, but how are you feeling about the guys so far this season?
I love our team. I think the sky's the limit. Once we were able to put together the two halves, and our two ways have been back and forth, and our assignment has been back and forth as well. So like I said, it's early, and once we get everybody together, and I'm sure we can be up there, compete with any team in the G League. Not even.
Yeah. There's a lot of talented guys on Windy City's roster. I'm a big fan of Ethan Thompson just because I watched a lot of Pac-12 basketball, especially in the tourney. The run he made not only through that tournament but in the NCAA tournament was pretty special.
Yeah, Ethan, he's one of our hardest workers, man. He's a great kid with a great attitude, and I think that's definitely one of the guys you will look up in a year or two and see on somebody's roster as well. Ethan's got a shot and he's playing real well, and I'm happy to be a part of his process as well. So
for sure, man, it's so cool to see where this year is taking you in 2021. Not just looking back on the year, but your whole basketball career from when you started to going from St. Francis to a little bit of time in the NBA and the G League and overseas, BIG3, now coaching. No. It might be hard to pin down one thing, but do you feel like has been the most important trait to have, or do you feel like is to have, in order to be successful just in this industry in general?
Yeah, I have two things.
Two things.
You gotta have thick skin, like your mental.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's not easy. It's not easy being away from your family, on holidays. It's not easy going to a country and a team where you're the only import and they don't speak your language and the payment's late and you're missing your family, you know what I mean? And, you can't go to an American restaurant. There is no, not much social life, and you still got to walk in there. It's cold outside. Like, you still have to walk in that gym, positive attitude every day. There are a lot of barriers that, you would deal with. So mentally, your mindset has got to be stronger than your feelings and emotions. That's one thing. And the second thing, got to work. You got to put the work in. You look up Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, these guys, Chris Paul, you know what I'm saying? Like these guys in the offseason, they devote their life to this. They work like they haven't made a penny and they're fighting to make the team. You got to put the work in. You got to improve. You got to take this, you know, you got to go, you know, you got to take this serious. You know, I tell the guys all the time, like, you know, you got to work. You got to put your time in. You know, I put a lot of time into, you know, my craft, you know, a lot of time. And just glad it's all paying off.
For sure. Wise words that I think anybody can really take, not just in the basketball world, but anybody can really take and implement into their daily lives. So appreciate the wise words. Last thing, I don't know. You're used to playing overseas, so do you even get to spend Thanksgiving here half the time? And you know, what are kind of your Thanksgiving plans?
It's all every year. It's always been birthdays and Thanksgiving and Christmas. I've always been like, you know, normally my family, you know, my family will come over, or maybe I might, but I'm so used to, you know, being by myself on the holidays. It's okay. It's just another day. Like I just look at it like, you know, just another day. I call and I check on everybody. Hey, love y'all. See y'all soon.
Yeah.
And just, you know, just try to put my head down and, you know, trying to and get the task done. So.
No doubt. All right. Well, hopefully you can still enjoy it and spend a little time with family. But man, I really appreciate the time. Really enjoy watching the journey. I know it's still continuing. So watching the journey and best of luck the rest of the year coaching, and look forward to reconnecting before the new BIG3 season, seeing you guys can defend that title.
Can't wait. We're gonna defend it. I appreciate the opportunity and good luck to you. I've been seeing the movement been growing with you as well. So that's amazing.
Hey, I'm trying to do the same grind you are. It's just hopefully it'll pay off, you know, like you said, it takes time. So for sure.
You're getting it. Keep at it.
Man, I appreciate that. That was our interview with Devin Sweetney, BIG3 champion. We should appreciate his time. He's obviously in the middle of the G League season, but had a lot of really good insight on, you know, what it takes to really be successful in the basketball industry and really just life in general. It was really cool to hear his side, you know, how he's got involved, how hard he's been working. And, you know, obviously, I don't know if a lot of people knew. I didn't even really make the connection of the Sweetney family tree being in the league already, but Michael Sweetney being an OG member of the Big 343's company, which is another dope aspect that Devin Sweetney, I guess the Sweetney family made during this long, you know, comeback Big 3 season. So we appreciate his time and best of luck to him on the rest of the G League season, and looking forward to see if Trilogy can run it back next year. We appreciate everyone who tuned in. We'll be back again next month for another Big 3 monthly update during the long off season before we're back on a regular weekly schedule. Hopefully have another interview on that end. But for anybody who enjoys the show, like we said, follow a lot of cool content that we've been doing on our Instagram page at Fourth Man Pod. And you can also follow the show if you want a visual perspective on youtube.com/fourthmanpod. And we appreciate everyone on Dash Radio and the Nothing But Net channel. See you guys next time.